Good morning. I made it. I just finished sending birthday greetings to everybody, and I got done just before the deadline of 4:44 when I was ready to begin the video. Oh, today's title is Amazing Courage and Awesome Creativity. What a day. Yesterday for me was one of those days that I was made aware. I didn't read this before I wrote it. That I I forgot was made aware another time of the amazing courage and awesome creativity manifest in the human story. After making the 778th video on my YouTube channel, I went to the workshop with Margie and friends that I mention from time to time. Then I hurried over to catch the latest installment of the Brevard Busking Coalition in concert. The workshop once again demonstrated human courage as my new friends doing the work for the first time shared their stories, often heartbreaking and painful, but always with the sense of radical transformation. I love watching miracles and will witness the conclusion of another emotional healing, spiritual discovery workshop today as we focus on the power of love. I was grateful that the workshop ended just in time for me to rush to another part of town and meet new friends, seeing and hearing my son's band for the first time, along with those that have become fans of these awesomely talented young men who have created a show that is both entertaining and uplifting. Even with only 2.5 hours of sleep, my soul feels refreshed as I bask in the joy I'm still feeling from yesterday's experience. I can't believe how much energy I feel this morning, although when I finish this, I probably will go back and lay down for a little while, because as I said, I only was 2.5 hours in bed, and that's not enough. But it was a glowing day for me. I'll start with the workshop. As I said, it's an emotional healing, spiritually transformative workshop where people get the opportunity to, in many instances, share things that they've never told others before, things that have kept them bound. It's our secret, that the things that we're ashamed to tell or afraid to tell, and we keep them inside, bottled up, and it imprisons us, making us unable to give and receive love the way that Spirit, the way that our Creator intended for us to experience life, with love and with joy and with passion and compassion. And what is shown always in the workshops is great compassion, as people are in a safe place where they will not be judged for whatever has happened to them or whatever they did that they may not be proud of. And all of us, I'm convinced, folks, that there's not a person on this planet that hasn't suffered abuse of one form or another. Whether it's spiritual abuse of people pushing a religion on others that doesn't make sense, a religion that says God loves you, but you better keep all the rules or otherwise he's going to send you to hell forever and ever because he loves you so much. I mean, I always get heartbroken when I hear people still believing that nonsense, that a God of love would actually send someone to hell forever and ever because they didn't dot their I's and cross their T's in just the proper way and believe all the creeds and all the dogmas of a particular religion. I mean, it's just plain BS, folks. It's just plain BS. But anyway, in the workshop, people share their stories, some of them being that kind of abuse, of coming out of very religious homes where the people felt like they were being pressed into some kind of a mold that they didn't fit in. And oftentimes they'd end up with substance abuse or other kinds of problems that they developed in their lives. And oftentimes when the substance abuse would lead to other abuses, sexual abuse and all of it is emotional trauma that we've stored in the cells of our body. And the workshop gives people a chance to let go of that and to step into a place of transformation where after releasing the rage and the outrage and the anger and the frustration of living a life on someone else's terms, you see people liberated to be able to express love. And it's not always easy, because people that have been wounded, it's so very hard to heal sometimes, so very hard to get better and to get over it and to really let it go. And that's why we provide the workshops as an avenue where people can do that, can let go of the things that have traumatized them and wounded them deeply. And we recognize that one of the last stories that was told in the workshop last night was the story of the little soul that wanted to be light and went to God and says, I want to be light. And God says, but you already are light. And the little soul says, yes, but I want to experience light. But you already are light, God said. But you know, God, I am, but I don't know what it means. Oh, God says, oh, I get it. Well, the only way that I can grant that desire for you to experience yourself as light is by creating what we'll call darkness, what we'll call human ignorance. And there you will learn what it is to not be light, so that you can remember what it is to be light again, and you can experience it in a fresh way for the first time. Oh, but there's a problem. There's a problem. You're going to have to forgive people, but there's no one to forgive because you're all light, because you're all my sons and daughters. You're all part of me. Oh, but another soul comes up and says, I will help you. I will go and forget that I'm light, and I will do things to you that will hurt and create a lot of pain. And the only thing I ask is that you don't forget to see the light in me, to see who I really am, so that you'll be able to forgive me. And the real danger is, I hope you don't forget that you're light too, because then it'll be so much harder and more difficult for you to forgive. And then we'll get stuck being unable to forgive each other for the wounds that we've caused, because little soul wanted to experience light. But the only way it could experience itself as light was to know darkness. Oh, the paradox. And we watch people in the workshop awakening to the miracle of forgiveness, the miracle of unconditional love and acceptance, the miracle of being able to let go of their secrets and to heal the wounds, sometimes wounds of many years and perhaps many lifetimes. And as I said, then I get to go rush over and almost to the beginning. I didn't quite catch the very beginning of the concert, but I was there early on and walk in the door, and the first person I bump into is my oldest granddaughter, and then my second oldest granddaughter, and then my daughter, and of course my son-in-law and my grandson were also there, but they weren't in that part of the room. They were on the other end of the room. But I got to spend time with my daughter and her family, and of course my son and his band family. And I got to interact with some of the most amazing people that were there hearing the buskers for the very first time. Absolutely blown away, absolutely amazed. I talked to one lady at the very end who's just visiting here from New Jersey and is going back tonight to New Jersey again. Her name was Kimberly, and I can't remember her friend's name. I re, I remembered her name because I had her repeat it a couple of times, and I repeated it, and it's still fresh. But she was just amazed, and her husband or significant other, or whatever relationship, I'm not sure what that was, but they were amazed at the talent and at the amazing entertainment value that's created by these six amazing men who play all these myriad of instruments and combine these rhythms and harmonies in such a way that, I mean, it's mind-boggling what they've done. I mean, no wonder they won the best original band competition, the Battle of the Bands. No wonder they were the probably undisputed winners, although I'm sure some of the people that in the other bands and some of their families might have thought that they should have won. But some of them that I heard last Sunday night didn't even hear the Buskers play. And the other bands were good, but the Buskers are in a class by themselves. I mean, and the it's like stand-up comedy on the stage mixed with this amazing display of musical talent. and and Jared kept dropping instruments and stuff, and at one time a drumstick rolled across the floor, and I was retrieving these items and bringing them back and interacting, and I mean, oh my friends, it was such a beautiful day for me to see miracles in the workshop, and to see and hear amazing talent in the band and in the small crowd that gathered. I mean, it was a packed house, but it was a small crowd because it's not a large venue. The Florida Discount Music open mic stage, open mics stage. My heart is filled with great joy as I anticipate yet at the conclusion of another workshop where it's all about love. And folks, that's what it really is all about. It's about forgiving one another for our journey of forgetfulness, our journey of becoming human, of fleshing out all the paradoxes of life as humans. And once again, we get to experience the absolute healing power of love. I wish I could give that to every one of you, whether you're holding on for dear life to the status quo in this time of change, or whether even if you're embracing the change and feeling disheartened because it's not coming for you fast enough. I wish I could give you the sense of joy that I was feeling by the end of the day yesterday as I finally turned out the lights around 1 o'clock or thereabouts, and gathered myself up and still woke up after 2.5 hours to meditate and to prepare yet another video, my 779th video, I believe this is. Who would have thunk a couple of years ago that I'd still be doing these every day? But it's my great joy and pleasure to share my joy and pleasure with you, and to uplift you, and to point you in a direction that will ultimately help us all heal and bring us all home, back to being light and love and enjoying laughter and enjoying life at its fullest and most richest. We are all amazingly gifted people. Thank you for listening. I love you. Namaste.